Okay, you ready?
I guess.
Okay. Today is August 25th, 2024. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, okay?
Are you?
Tell everybody your name and when you were born.
Tell everybody.
We're going to video,
Okay.
so tell your name and when you were born.
I'm Nettie Harvison. Do I need my middle name?
Yeah.
Nettie Erlene Harvison. White Harvison.
Yeah.
Nettie Erlene White Harvison. And
When were you born?
form
When? What year?
1933.
Okay. You said you were born in Forum?
Huh?
You were born in Forum?
Yeah.
What were your parents' names?
What was what?
Your parents' names?
Alvy Otto White and Nancy Louise White. Moppins White.
What did your parents do for a living?
Worked on the farm.
Grow watermelons?
Yeah, they grow watermelons, pumpkins, squash, everything you could think.
Just farm?
Farmland.
Okay.
And that's what we lived on.
What was some of your favorite foods your mom cooked?
Tomatoes, squash, watermelons, and
What about what she cooked?
potatoes and beans.
Potatoes and beans?
That seemed like everybody's go back then. As long as you had potatoes and beans, you could add something to it.
What was a normal supper like?
As long as we had potatoes and beans, and then she could add bread and whatever she wanted to with it. But we had beans, green beans or dried beans. We had one or the other every meal, I reckon.
Every meal? Same?
About every meal, if we didn't.
Did you normally eat the same thing throughout the week?
Well, we eat it a lot,
Yeah.
'cause that's what we growed.
Right.
Back then, they eat what they growed.
Right. How many siblings did you have?
Me, I had two, wasn't it?
Thought you had more.
Huh?
I'm not sure. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Oh, I mean, brothers and sisters. Let's see, I had Esther and Irma. I guess that's all. No, I was thinking I had three sisters. I don't guess I did. Esther and Irma, and then I had Talbert, and Burl, and Lonnie, and Charles, and Paul.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And did Paul die yesterday?
No, he didn't. What did you sleep on?
Floor.
Like, did you make a bed of anything?
Yeah, they put leaves in a sack, usually ticking, like you put on a mattress,
Yeah.
and they put that full of leaves or something, and we made us a bed, or straw, one or the other, and we had beds made out of that. Slept good.
Yeah. Where did you go to school at?
Farm.
You went to school at Forum?
Yeah. You know where that little old schoolhouse
Yeah,
was?
yeah.
That's where we got our education.
How far did you walk to school?
I think Dad said it's about 3.5 miles.
Yeah.
We'd walk up by the Stroud place and up that holler. Come around sometimes by the Van Hook place.
How long did it take you to get there?
Oh,
You remember?
30 to 45 minutes, I guess, somewhere along in there.
Who did you walk with?
My brothers.
Your brothers?
Sisters. Esther went along with us. She's about the only one that's old enough to see. I was 10 years older than Esther. And so I pretty well growed up with my brothers.
Did you have a best friend growing up?
A what?
A best friend?
Backspread.
A best friend.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we did or not. Well, I guess I did. Well, I had Maydale and Marshall and Walden. I always loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen their picture
Yeah.
in the paper here a while back. Yeah, I always liked Maydale. Me and her walked to school and back together.
Dad told me about what you wore for shoes.
Huh?
When you walked to school,
Yeah,
what did you wear for shoes?
them old tennis shoes, I think.
I thought
We carried them and,
didn't you wrap your feet in sacks or something?
yeah, in cold weather we'd wrap them in no-toe sack.
Really?
Yeah,
You have your shoes underneath?
yeah.
So,
Poor people had poor ways.
yeah.
But we made it.
Yeah. So how did you dress
Well,
back in those days?
whatever we had.
Was it all homemade clothes?
Yeah.
Did your mom make them?
No, Aunt Ruthie made our clothes.
She made them? Okay.
And she made the boys' shirts and some of their breeches.
Yeah. What did you take for lunch?
Whatever they had. I remember one day we got to school and Arlie opened it up. She'd made some cookies and she just made them look like biscuits. He said, I'm going to tell Dad. She sent a whole box full of biscuits and that's all we got in there. And he found out them was cookies and boy, he let in on them.
I think we got a car coming down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
We'll let them go by and we'll keep going.
Okay.
Better wave at them.
That's,
I don't know who that was.
I've seen it go by quite a bit.
So, did you carry a metal pail
Yeah.
every day?
Little 4-pound bucket.
What do you remember what you took in it?
Sometimes we took pinto beans in a pint jar sitting there, or a half pint or whatever we had. A little jar anyhow, and they'd fill that up with some beans for us. Then if we had potato soup, we'd have it in there. She'd have it all cornbread smashed up in it.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we had a good meal.
Did you have a favorite class subject in school?
I loved arithmetic.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked arithmetic.
How come?
I don't know, I just loved it.
Yeah? Anything else?
Reading too. I liked reading, but I didn't like reading as well as I did the arithmetic.
Were you good at it?
Yeah.
You were?
And spelling. I got to where I'd turn them all down on spelling.
Yeah.
We'd have spelling bees, and I'd always get my new pencil.
You got a new pencil for winning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they'd give us a new pencil for winning.
How many times did you win?
I don't know, but several.
Several?
Yeah. Well, if you stayed up there a week, you got a new pencil.
Okay.
Did you ever do that?
No, never did.
We did.
How many years of schooling did you have?
I went about 7 years, I think. Almost 7.
What ages? You remember?
I'm not for sure. Probably from about... We started probably about 8. I don't know. Probably about 8 to 12 or something
8
like
to 12. What's the lowest gas price you remember? The lowest gas price you remember?
I remember it being 18 cents a long time.
What about sugar?
I remember when it was pretty cheap, but I don't remember what
Don't
it
remember?
was. I remember when groceries was cheap, or we thought they were.
How much would you spend going to buy groceries?
I don't know what they spent. I didn't keep up with that. They'd send us to the store. I know they'd send just some pocket change.
Didn't take much?
No, it didn't take much.
Do you remember having your first pop?
My what?
Your first pop? Like a can of pop.
Oh, a first truck?
No.
Oh, pop?
Do you remember your first pop? You don't remember?
I don't think so.
Do you know how old you were when you tried pop?
Probably 18.
18?
I'd say I was. We didn't know what pop was. We didn't know what going to town was.
What about, how old were you when you went to a restaurant?
Oh, Lord. Probably an old lady. Probably after me and Clyde was married.
Which was about how old?
Well, I didn't marry him till I was 26.
So around 26?
Yeah.
What kind of games did you play growing up?
Ball, Annie over, and stuff like that. Mom would tell us she could throw us over the house, and the way she'd do that, she'd put her name on a corn cob or a stick and throw it over the house.
Oh, yeah?
And that way she throwed us over the house.
Did you play cards?
I didn't.
Any kind of board games or checkers?
Yeah, we had checkers. The boys really loved to play checkers, but I didn't play them as much as they did.
Yeah.
I played some.
Did you or your mom or dad, did you guys hunt or fish?
Did I what?
Did any of you guys hunt or fish?
Yeah, he'd take us down to the river once in a while. We go down there, and I remember we went down there with a Dotson, and he'd get fire coals and pitch them in Dad's hair, and And we'd get scared that Dad's going to get his hair burned off. We sat pretty close. Now, we didn't want Dad to get his head on fire.
So, did they hunt?
Eat what?
Did they hunt back then?
Garlic.
Deer hunt. Did your mom or dad deer hunt?
Dad did.
Was there many around back then?
Quite a few.
Really?
The boys and Dad hunted, but I didn't. Us women didn't hunt. I think later years, Mary, I know she did after her and George married. She got to hunting quite a bit. But
how old were you when you got running water?
I don't know. I was grown for sure.
So, how did you wash clothes?
Well, we had rub board.
Go down the creek in the rub board?
Yeah. And we'd go down there and we'd have an old kettle out there and we'd carry it and fill that kettle full of water and get it to boiling. We'd boil our clothes. That was bleaching them out. That was keeping them boiled down. And that was a good way to keep them clean. Now, I mean, that boiling them clothes was like putting bleach in them.
And throw them on a clothesline?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about, did you have an outhouse for the bathroom?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It's just a hole cut in the board. You could sit and look down there and see the turds falling down.
Yeah.
I bet you will find it. I bet you get tickled with you. They did. They had rocks.
So, was it cold in the wintertime using that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cold.
Okay.
That old cold air would come up there just like ice blowing up through that hole.
For anybody that don't know, it's about 97 degrees right now too, so.
Yeah.
What year did you get electricity? Or how old were you?
Shoot, I was grown, but I don't remember what age.
Don't remember? Do you remember talking on the phone the first time?
I remember us getting an old phone, and we thought that was the funniest thing in the world, was to talk and hear somebody talking on them phones.
What kind of phone did you have?
A hand phone.
Was it
just a handheld phone?
Could you hear people on the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear them talking on them lines.
Was it a big deal whenever you guys got a phone?
Oh yeah, we thought that was something. Now you wouldn't think nothing about it. You wouldn't want them, but
Yeah.
and we had party lines.
Yeah.
I remember the Harvises was on our party line.
You get on there and hear them talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep them off of our party line to where we could talk.
So, the Great Depression,
Yeah.
You were a kid through that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was getting up there pretty good size when that depression hit.
Did you guys ever did you ever go hungry?
Well, we had to watch what we eat.
Had to keep track of everything?
They'd get food stamps and stuff like that, and we could only get so much. And if we eat it up, we didn't have nothing to eat.
Right. Kind of had to keep track of what you had.
Yeah, you had to keep track of what you had.
There wasn't no pigging out.
There ain't no pigging out on them things.
Yeah.
We had to be real careful what we eat. So, other words, they rationed us.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
It was ration.
So, what was your first job? I mean, I know as a kid you worked, but what was your first real job?
Working at the school, I guess.
The school? Driving a bus?
No, I worked as just taking care of the people in the school.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you end up driving a bus later on?
Yeah, I drove a bus and then drove. That made it to where it was kind of worthwhile.
Yeah.
We thought we had it made when we drove the bus and had that.
Do you remember what you got paid?
No, it wasn't very much, but
Enough to get by?
it was enough to get by. It didn't take too much to get by back then like it does now.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your first car?
Yeah, that old blue truck, I think.
That was your first one?
I think that was the first. That old blue one we had.
It was a 1984
Yeah.
GMC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was our first.
You never had one before that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't much believe we did.
What did you guys plant in your garden growing up?
Everything we could think of. We had beans and taters and tomatoes and watermelon and cantaloupe and just everything we could think of in there. Peas. We loved them garden peas.
Is that why you liked gardening so much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory as a kid?
Of a kid.
Do you have a favorite memory growing up?
Well, I loved them gardening.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved that. We loved to get out there in the garden, and we kept the yard clean too.
Do you have any stories?
I don't reckon.
Any stories about you guys all gardening together?
Well, we just all got out there and done it, and we all loved it. We all liked to. Enjoyed working in the garden.
What year did you meet Clyde?
1960, I guess.
Yeah. And what was he doing when you met him?
Robossing.
Robossing.
As Clyde Allen said, Grandpa got a job hauling us over to pick up strawberries for him to be a roboss over the strawberries. And I'll be if he didn't roboss her home with us. He used to tease me about that. And he still does once in a while.
Where did you meet him?
In the strawberry patch.
Do you remember where at?
Over at Forum.
Was it Forum also?
Back that house, you know, that old house up there on, and the barn set there by it.
I've seen your house.
Yeah.
Where y'all live.
And the old barn was sitting out there to one side.
Yeah.
Okay. We would, that barn, and we'd be out there by that barn, and we could look over there and see the strawberry patch. And we'd see deers over there eating our strawberries up. And yuns would shoot at them from the house.
Can you explain your house growing up?
It was just a plain old wood house.
I've seen it, but about how big?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing extra. I doubt if it's any bigger than that chicken house up there.
Mm-hmm. So how many lived in it at once?
Well, there's 9 of us kids, I think.
Did you have bunks? Or did everybody sleep on the floor?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd sleep on the floor or wherever.
Just wherever you could?
Yeah, we didn't have no beds.
Nothing like today?
Huh?
Nothing like what you have today?
No, nothing like these.
Okay,
They're going to laugh at you.
What?
You're going to have a funny video.
Why?
No, there'll probably be a lot of them just about the same way.
What, my notebook?
Yeah, there'll probably be a lot of them just about the same way.
Yeah?
I don't think anybody much had them. Because I've been down to Uncle Joe's and Aunt Reethy's, and they didn't have nothing extra either. Poor Uncle Joe couldn't hardly get around. He was crippled, and he had that creeping paralysis. But when he'd get happy, he'd take off. Running, I wished you could see him. He'd run like a racehorse.
Mm-hmm. So, did Clyde build this house?
They built it, I believe he said, in 45.
45?
I believe that's what he told me. Or the old house was tore down, maybe he said, in 45. There used to be an old house here, and they tore it down, and that's where all them nails and things in that porch, you can see them all around the edges.
Yeah.
That's where they throwed them in there, and Bob Griggs said he was here and watched them throw them in there. He's told me about that.
So, this is where Dad was born?
Yeah. I think he said he was born in this house.
Dad and Melissa both?
Huh?
Dad and Melissa both?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Clyde like doing?
Being my boss.
Being your boss?
He loved being with me.
Did he like to hunt or ride horses?
He liked to hunt. He'd get out and hunt with the boys. Burl and Talbert and Arlie and Cecil and all of them. He loved to get out and hunt with the boys.
Did he coon hunt?
Huh?
Did he coon hunt?
Yeah.
What about Fur, did you guys sell fur?
Yeah, they sold fur to Art Burnett.
Uh-huh. Do you remember how much money you could get for one?
I think they got about for a hide, they'd get about $1.25 or something like that.
Yeah.
For part of them. I don't know what they got all the time, but I remember them getting as much as $1.25 for them. I think I remember them getting a quarter for some of them.
Did you sell squirrel hides too?
No, I don't think they sold squirrel hides.
Did you eat them?
Yeah,
Bunch of them?
yeah.
Tell everybody your favorite part of a squirrel.
Huh?
Tell everybody your favorite part of a squirrel.
The legs and the brains. I like the brains even. The head and the brains. We'd break that old head open and eat them brains out of there. Made us smart.
You made it for me once.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I did. I liked brains.
Don't you? You put it in the oven? How did...
we could, but we put it in a skillet most of the time and fried them a little. Rolled it in flour and put it in that skillet after we boiled it.
Right.
And that Rose that come over, she wants to come sometime and have a squirrel dinner.
Okay. Do you have any good memories with Clyde?
With what?
Any good memories with Clyde?
Fried. Oh, with Clyde. Yeah. I really like to sit and talk to him. He'd take me by the hand and he'd tell me all of how he growed up and how he loved me and all of that. And we would have a wonderful time sitting and talking. And Jasper talks about that some yet.
Did you ever go to the movies with him?
Huh?
Did y'all ever go to the movies?
Yeah.
You did?
No, we didn't go to movies and stuff like that. The kids later on in life went to going to them, but me and him didn't go to movies. We just...
Stayed on the farm?
Yeah, stayed on the farm. Me and him was the movies.
Yeah. What years of growing up were the hardest?
Huh?
What years of growing up were the hardest?
I don't know. We had some hard times, but I enjoyed most of it.
Ever have money troubles?
Oh, yeah, we've had to worry about where we was going to get the next a few times, but we made it.
Mm-hmm.
Where, as Dad always said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
He'd always tell us, where there's a will, there's a way.
So, do you remember the war?
Yeah. I remember when Talbert or Burl won, they thought they was going to have to go, and that like killed us. We just couldn't hardly stand the thoughts of them having to go off to war, and we thought we'd never see them again if they took them off to war.
Did they end up going?
No.
Never did?
Well, Talbert did for a while, and he's the only one that had to go.
You remember when HC went?
Yeah. No, not really. I remember when he was in there, but I don't remember him having to go.
Hey, I'll call you back. I'm interviewing Mama. Yeah, call her. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, where are we? So, when y'all took baths,
tub.
in a tub,
Yeah.
like an old metal.
An old wash tub used to be, but then they got to where later on we got a bathtub put in.
Mm-hmm.
But back then we'd go outside and get us a bathtub, no number 3 wash tub and take baths out there. I've heard Kelly and them talk about the same thing.
Did you make your own soap?
Mom made lots of lye soap, and I've helped make it too.
You know how?
Well,
you know how she made it?
Yeah, you'd take so much grease and then so much lye and mix that all together, and then get real thick. Just pour it in there and let it set. And I mean, it would cut. It cut better than bleach does.
Okay. Do you have a favorite color?
I always loved blue and pink.
Blue and pink?
No, yeah. I liked blue and I liked pink.
Like your cup?
Yeah.
They'll want to see that. Who got you that?
Nicole.
Nicole?
Yeah, she gave me that. Mama Nettie.
So, favorite food?
Beans and taters, I guess. Anything like that that's growed on farms, what we had, and that's what we loved.
Is it still your favorite food today?
Yeah.
What about cornbread and milk?
Well, it's good too. Cornbread and milk's real good. Beans and taters, and just anything like that. Sweet potatoes.
Did you have a favorite thing to cook?
Cook.
What did you like to cook?
Just anything I had. I like to have whatever we wanted. I wanted it to have it mixed up, have some now and then of whatever. Who you gonna show this to?
Just family.
Oh, my doctor. Oh, no. A lawyer.
Hey, look, here. Have you ever cut your hair?
Done what?
Have you ever cut your hair?
Yeah. They cut it, Mom cut it once, and Daddy got her told to leave my hair alone.
Just once?
I think once is all he ever let her cut it.
Is there any food you don't like? Anything?
I reckon I just try about anything.
There's nothing.
I like garlic and everything like that.
There's no food you just won't eat. Nothing.
Not that I know of.
And I've got a bunch. I won't.
I love tomatoes, and I love peas, and I love cabbage, and I love beans and taters and everything I think of.
Do you remember the price of land?
Yeah, it went up and down.
Do you remember what an acre cost?
No.
Not really? What year did Clyde die? You remember?
1960, wasn't it?
No.
No, that's when we married.
Dad was born in 62.
Yeah.
Didn't Clyde die when Dad was 7 or 8?
Yeah. I think he's 8 years old.
Okay. Where did you have Dad and Melissa at?
Huntsville Hospital, I guess.
I didn't know if you had them there or at home.
I had him at the hospital? I guess, in Huntsville.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did.
What jobs have you had after having kids?
What jobs?
Mm-hmm.
I had school and bus driving.
Did you work at Swift's?
Yeah, I worked at Swift's.
Take care of people?
Yeah. And I guess that's all.
Who did you take care of?
Bessie Parker, for one. I took care of her. Well, I started in by taking care of her daughter. She weighed about 300 pounds, and she'd get down, and I couldn't get her up by myself. I remember Holly and them would have to come up and help me get her up out of the floor when she'd get down. And
do you remember me going to work with you
yeah,
at Bessie's?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you and one of the others.
Probably Nicole.
Huh?
Nicole?
Probably Nicole. She wanted Eunice to come so she could see Eunice once in a while. And the boss first said I couldn't take Eunice. And she kept begging, and the boss said Eunice could go once in a while and let her see Eunice. Because she loved kids so well.
Did you take care of Bruce?
Of who?
Bruce?
Bruce, yes, I sure did.
It was quite a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, I took care of him for quite a while. Bathed him out, went Sunday morning for church, and had to give him his Sunday morning bath. He would not let Philip give him a bath. I had to go and give him his bath on Sunday morning.
Did you enjoy taking care of people?
Yeah, I did.
So you have 5 grandkids.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
Nicole,
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
Vicky, and Lucas.
Yeah.
And 8 great-grandkids.
Do I have 8?
Yep, 8.
Okay.
And you have Dad and Melissa.
Yeah.
Dad born in 1962, Melissa in 1972.
Yeah.
Dad
That's right.
Dad lives here and Melissa lives in Missouri.
Yeah. That's right.
Do you have any advice to young couples starting today?
Just do the best they can. That's what I done.
You have any? How did you do it? I mean,
just tried to look ahead and see what it looked like I had. I tried to look the future out. You know how you look out there and see what it looks like how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do that. I tried to do that because I didn't want to get in a bind that I couldn't get out of. And that's one thing I always tried to do, and I think I done a pretty good job at
Yeah,
it.
you did. If you could go back to any age of your life, what age would it be?
I don't know.
Would you?
It's all been,
All been good?
yeah, it's all been pretty good.
Did you have any favorite years? Probably with Clyde,
Just growing up with him.
just growing up.
Yeah, I liked it. I did. I liked my growing up years.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you want to be remembered by everybody?
Huh?
How would you like to be remembered by everybody?
Like to be with them.
How would you like people to remember you?
It's just old me and Nettie. No, I'd like for them to remember me just like I was.
Like what?
Just plain Nettie.
Just
As,
plain.
as some of them used to say, just plain Jane. That's what they used to call me. Bob Brandon used to call him. Do you remember Bob Brandon and Sister Dale?
I don't know.
I was plain Jane. And that's what I liked, was being just plain Jane.
Anything else?
Not that I know of, but that was my life.
Anything else you want people to remember you by? I mean, you loved going to church.
Yes, I love going to church. I still do.
Yeah. You're a family person.
Yeah, I'm a family person. I'm not a run-around person.
Yeah. Like being at home.
Yeah, I like home life.
You
I just always liked home life.
probably like.
Yeah,
Nicole lives over there.
yes.
I live here.
And you live here. I love that. Sit here where I can watch, see where my grandkids is.
Mm-hmm. Speaking
Grandkids in both places.
Speaking of grandkids, do you have a favorite? Hey,
Yeah, my little boy.
take that, Nicole. All right, wave it, everybody.
Love yous, love yous.